And welcome, yet again, Hour Henshin. We are here, as always, to talk about Kamen Rider Geats and generally what's going on tokusatsu-wise in a kind of digestible half hour of listening. I am Sleepy Witch. As always, I am joined by my co-host.
DJ Azura, the 2.5D Hero Takatuber.
Yeah, and so we finally gotten the episode 9. I'm still so sad about Tycoon.
I know, right?
And it looks like you were
Uh,
right with Sumire being the one who does the little recap at the beginning.
yeah.
Basically, plot of this one starts off with everyone wondering, "Hey, what's going on? We followed the rules, but we didn't actually win." The game master shows up and basically gives them eggs, which was
yeah. Yeah, the egg made for some pretty good scenes in this episode because that was like the whole thing, and yeah, and like with the premise of, hey, take care of this egg. Then we go straight into the opening where Tycoon is missing for everything except one scene.
yeah, he's missing, but he's still. That was what I was wondering because he still has his like scene in the opening, which to me, conveys he's still going to be important in some way, shape, or form. Uh, but he's not available for the writer stuff. Uh, Also, at this point, if you lose the qualification to become a common writer, we don't know if some of these rules like reset per round. Because technically it's a new world. You know,
Hmm.
you haven't lost the qualifications yet, but here's the thing. So far, Geet has been throwing curveballs anytime I try to say anything about that.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict, but at the same time, it's really fun to try and predict.
Yeah, and whenever you get it right, like it's like, oh, gotcha. That's pretty sick. Uh, but the egg thing also works out with the fact that we saw like last episode with Ninja that the raised buckles are like somewhat sentient. Uh, or I guess with this one like super sentient. But basically, going to fight the boss. This time, Buffa basically just straight up doesn't take care of the egg at all. He just like leaves it on a
it's
table.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's very indicative of all their characters, like how they take care of it. Where like Geets is is like, I'm gonna treat you like oh, that meme of where it's like parents, mothers with their children and dads with their children, or like mothers with their children is like, oh yeah, here, yeah, you're so cute, and then like dad with the children is like like holding them upside down above a lake.
Yeah, Nago gets her kid stolen. Buffa just leaves him on a table, and Geets is just kind of, well, technically tossing him around, but he's keeping him on him. Geets
Yeah.
ends up also getting a boost buckle through finding out where the can is on the boss. Also
Hmm.
interesting. I knew the phone was like a spider phone. I knew it turned into that form from the toy. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that that's what it was used for. That it was used to like. I don't know if I missed that.
No, they never really brought up the spider part of the phone. Like we just know that it actually does work as a raise buckle eventually, or it will connect to the to
Yeah, it
the.
connects to the driver, but also it's the thing that like goes up and like gives you rewards, which I hadn't seen up to this point, which I think
Yep.
is, which I think is cute. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to show like, hey, buy the spider phone because it's a toy. Yeah, it's like it's really funny because like a lot of it's really funny with how Geets and Don Brothers are kind of treating the toy commercial. It just treats them like obligations. It just like tosses them in there, like saying, "Okay, cool. Here's why they're there. Okay, let's move on to the actual story,
Yeah,
please."
I saw some people tweeting about that with Don Brothers. Like he will put it in for as long as he's contractually obligated, and then completely ignore it right
Yeah,
afterwards.
it's hilarious.
But
And then,
anyway, we get to see the first cracking of the eggs with Nago getting propeller and Buffa getting drill, which very fun raised buckles, at least in concept.
Mhm. Yeah, it was also really funny too because you see Nago's like, like, oh, please hatch, and then like being all caring about it, and then you see Bubba knocking the egg on the table, and it's hilarious just watching him because like yeah, the butler is there like saying, please don't do that, please don't do that. Oh man, and it's great, and then Ace is like, oh yeah, you know what,
He'll
we'll
help.
I'll figure something out.
He'll get here when he gets here. And then we get,
Hmm.
honestly, it feels like a really sad scene. Both the Nago and Buffa, like, Naga's out here basically doing like a recording, being like, "This might be my last episode. I'm not gonna tell you why, but I'm gonna do my best." And she's like sitting here, thinking that she's gonna die. And then Buffa straight up has a hallucination of his like friend that he's fighting for, and he's like, I'm gonna have your revenge.
Hmm.
And Geets, who's thinking about his mother yet again.
Yeah, he's basically like playing it smart. He's trying to figure it out, and yeah.
The
Oh
only
man,
thing
but
with the Nago propeller is I wish she would have used like propeller and claw.
yeah. Except I don't think they thought of using. I'm not sure what they would have done with the claw for the feet. But I have a feeling that it might have been something like X-23. That would be
Yeah.
great to
Oh,
see.
or let's be honest. Put the propeller on the feet. You're flying around, you're just slashing people.
Oh yeah, true.
But watching Buffa fight with the drill, very fun. He's just kind of running people down.
Yep.
And then, main part fight is uninterrupted. Geets shows up with boost. Buffa shows his tenacity. Literally, like, I will fight this guy 1v1. Even if
Yeah.
he's a giant
And
monster, which I always think is cool because in a lot of like Tokusatsu,
oh
if the dude's giant, you fight him by getting in a giant robot or something, or by
yeah.
turning giant.
And the best part about it was that he has the broken helmet, and apparently the production team was all super excited over like, hey, we gotta put a broken helmet in. We gotta put a broken helmet in. They were so excited to put the broken helmet in, and I'm like, I agree. I agree with the
It
broken
looks
helmet.
it looks pretty sick. The broken helmet's
Yeah.
it's a pretty good motif. It ends up looking
Hmm.
really good. And then Geet
Yeah.
saves him by using the egg as a weapon.
It's so funny.
It is,
I,
and then it hatches into the monster buckle, which is very cute.
yeah.
It's just monkey or
Yeah.
something.
It's just
I think he's a little monkey.
yeah. But yeah, it's really cute how he uses the egg for that monster strike.
Um,
And surprisingly, he's not using boost with it.
yeah, that I also thought was interesting. That makes me wonder about a lot of things. Also, the way like the buckle, like he talks about it being sleepy all the time, and then it like closes its eyes. It makes me think maybe it's going to be kind of like the watermelon lock seed from Gaim, where it's like really strong, but it only works like once, and then you have to like let it rest. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yep. And then we see Win, or I should say Punk Jack,
Yeah. Then we see everyone's favorite
unmasked.
character, Pump
Yeah.
Jack, who is very good because we see him and he unmasked, and then he's like, the next DGP is going to be a lot of fun. And it's like, you're an administrator. You shouldn't be taking part of that.
Yep. And then we get like the scene that everyone was talking about, like the sadness of Buffa and Nago saying they lost.
Yeah, they lost
Like,
and they get retired, which again is why I'm like, okay, so they're going to be back. So obviously Tycoon can just come back whenever.
mhm.
It's not nearly as big of a deal as it was made to be here.
Mhm.
And then I don't think we get to see Ace's wish.
Yeah, we don't get to see Ace's wish, but I will talk about that during the episode preview, and I have ideas for it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah,
What I think it is.
and they just
Um,
argue, and then we find out that the T guy has been the game master this whole time.
exactly. That shocked me to all holy fuck. I'm like, it should have been obvious. It should have been obvious, but no.
I'm gonna
It
be
felt-
honest. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was obvious. I was like, no, it's not gonna be the T guy. Like they've set him up as his own character. He's got his own little like it can't be him. You know,
Yeah,
like if it could be him, but that would be. I feel like that feels too easy with this show so far.
yeah, but no. They said nah. We could have dragged this out longer. Nah, it's here already.
Yeah,
And
fair
that
enough.
and and then episode pre. Oh, actually, wait. And just like yeah, what is it? And then we get our rule. When the god desires wish is granted, the world is remade and humanity's memories are reset.
Yep,
This is how the world, and just like this, the world is saved.
yep. And then I think we do get
Yeah,
to see Ace do the like almost iconic now, like time for my world now.
yeah. Okay, so what we see is that Buffa is getting his buckle again, and I think is that Ace signing his shirt? I think like Ace is just gonna be Ace. It's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It looks like he looks like he's oh no he did he did sign the shirt. I could actually see the marker marks.
Yeah,
But
so he
then
signed.
again,
So he
we
signed the shirt like before he gets his memories. So he's like fucking with it.
yeah
Oh,
it
dude, wait. That's gonna be so funny because wait, if he doesn't have his memories, that means he probably was just like, oh, Master Ace, the greatest celebrity. He went up to. He probably asked for an autograph as it happened,
yeah.
and he's gonna
And
be like
then
disgusted with himself right afterwards.
yep. And then what is it? Okay, so it looks like the name is Giroli. Yeah, Giroli and Samuri are basically eating together in with Ace, and I think Ace's wish was that he wants them to be his family. I think that's his wish, and because don't forget like the whole date thing, number one, and number two and from like the first episode, and number two he's like saying I wonder how strong of a wish we could I could wish for with
Yep,
this.
yep. And Tamuri
And
was talking about not wanting to grant it. So that would be very funny if he ended up making them
yeah,
a family.
exactly. In the episode preview, yeah, Smurry is not amused at all, and then you see Girly just having the time of his life. But we know better now.
Yep. And then what I'm
Um,
excited for, we see Buffa with the ninja buckle,
yeah,
and
but
we
with the
see
Ninja Bugle,
the two
then we
new
see
riders.
yeah, we see yeah. What is it? A moth and another sheep. I
It's
guess,
another sheep.
or it
I
might
think
be a goat.
it's
Yeah,
another. I think it's like another. It's like a goat, but I don't think it's a moth. I think it's another. It's like Genpen. It's like another bird. I think.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a moth because it has like the feathers, like a moth head, which could work yeah in
I
that way
thought.
too.
I thought it was an owl. So we'll see.
It could be an owl actually. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it.
And then
Yeah,
we
it's
get to
either moth
see
or owl.
Punkchak's dude who's like this shredding, and he just shows up, and he's got the monster buckle.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean that's supposed to be his main one anyways too. So
yeah.
he looks really fun, and then looks like we're also gonna see Nago's beat buckle.
Yeah.
Yep, we're in the we're in the second toy commercial phase, and I am excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I don't want to be excited because that's like my god, but it's hard not to be when they're cool, you know. It's hard not to be.
Exactly.
It's hard not to be.
But man, it's like I'm not sure what to expect because it is going to be a new game. So most likely, Ace is probably going to figure out another Wild Wish. And now that we know the rules are set now. We like these last 9 episodes may have just been set up, but we still got a good story out of it because Tycoon, and a bunch of other stuff. Also, they did show some of the new riders, and one of the riders is another old man.
Oh, dude,
And
I love old man riders. I think that's so fun.
yeah, everyone's like saying he's either gonna be the most evil or the most tragic character. There's no in between. I'm like, yeah,
maybe so, maybe so. At this point, I don't want to judge anyone before we see him do stuff. Because like I don't know, I feel like you really never know with some of these. But
yeah.
now that we've done just like the basic episode recap, it's time for our Don Brothers update. I'm almost halfway caught up. I'm at around I think it's 17 was the last one I watched.
You're on episode 17 of Don Bros.
Yes, so I watched so from the last time I watched Momotaro die or get defeated. I watched the Six Ranger guy show up. I watched them save him. I watched obviously Pink guy turn into a monster, and then I've watched basically I think it's like the episode after all of that, which is the one with Inuzaka, the dog guy on the run, looking to meet his fiance and his
Oh
doing
yes,
the dating escapades.
yes, that's right. Yeah,
Where we
this
found
is when we actually learned his backstory. It's
yes,
still, and I will still never get over how he's a former stage theater actor whose girlfriend got kidnapped, and he's on the run for a crime he did not commit, and yet he's still the most normal member. Oh, that's right. Oh, and he eats dog food. Oh, and he is still the most normal member of the Don Bros.
he is. He really is. It's. I mean, yeah, yeah. All of the Don Bros are weirdos. I
I love the Don Bros so
yeah.
much.
I
They're
heard
so
there are
ridiculous.
some mixed feelings on the Sixth Ranger guy. Uh,
It's like he's going. He's
he's an
going.
acquired taste.
I mean, like the thing is that I don't think I. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you just met him.
I just met him, so
Uh,
all I've seen him do is like show up, get beat up because he couldn't transform yet, finally transform, help them eventually get Momoi out of dimensional prison, and then also then like literally turn evil for like an episode.
yeah, it's so funny. I really am just am enjoying the show so much. But yeah, like yeah, you've seen some good episodes, and yeah, everyone seems to love Inuzuka. Yeah, he's a great character. Oh, that's right. I forgot you. That means you also saw the Idol episode where Haruka is
Bro,
just
the
like
idol episode is really funny. As always, I think those kind of episodes are the ones where like having Momoi around are like the best because like all of her just like asking him and him not being able to lie, just saying like the first like straightforward thing, and it's just like why aren't you wearing the uniform? And it's like because it doesn't fit around my chest. And it's like then take the padding out.
yeah, and then it's even funnier too because of how it's even funnier. Oh, and that's right. That's right. One of the episodes too was where it's like Inuzuka was sick because like they start showing the bestials and stuff like that, and then you see and then everyone realizes sorry everyone except Inuzuka realizes who and that Kijino is the pink. It's so
Yeah,
funny to see that.
it was a good mix up. I also like I'd find out through the spoiler, but I didn't realize it would play it like so straight faced. The fact that like Momoi just dies if he tells a lie. His
Yeah,
heart just stops.
it is the funniest thing. Also, the other thing too that we saw was how the other thing that we that you saw too, which is one of my favorite things, is the beginning of like the friendship between Sonoi and Momoi before they before like they don't know each other's. They
Yeah,
didn't know each
yeah,
other's.
yeah.
Yes,
The beginning of that friendship
yeah,
is a way to put it, huh?
yeah, it's so good. Talking about Odin, and like basically like just the way they talk to each other. You also saw the first appearance of Oni Taijin. Um,
Oni Taijin is cool. I like how they've added it to like the opening, and I like that its opening sequence, like you see it like its face like expand across a building. This is just getting bigger. Uh,
yeah,
I think that's very good. Yeah, Momoi and
man, yeah,
Momoi
you
and
watched
Sonoi,
it.
Momoi and Sonoi together. I don't, bro. That feels like more than friendship.
It feels more
That
it
feels
feels
like
like
more.
more than
Look,
friendship.
look. There are some forlorn stares. The like, you're the kind of person I wish everyone was. It's they literally just like sit together and talk about the moon. I wish everyone else could be like you. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Look,
You're not wrong, but it's so funny. It's so funny because like that's how everyone is also taking it
yeah,
too.
everyone. Look. It's extremely gay. I saw someone talk about Don Bros, and it's like the main conflict is Don Bros is just like, and I figure talking about Momo and Snow is like a couple breaks up and they're so extra they have to make it everyone else's problem.
Yeah, it's so good. I
The
love
fact,
it.
bro, the fact that like he just gets him to tell the weakness, and then afterwards, like after he's like quote unquote, you know, killed Momoy, he's like standing there and he's like, "This is the first time that I think I hate myself." I'm like, okay, but all right. And especially like right after he comes back and he comes to fight Momotaro, and the first thing he does is like de-transform as like the sword's coming at him. And he's like, "I just want to talk." And he's like, "Okay." And it's like, "Are you gonna tell me why you saved me?" And he's like, "You know what? I don't want to tell you that." It's look, it's really good.
Yeah.
I really like them. I still think my favorite. I think they're called Solarians.
Oh, the Cerebrans? Yeah,
Cerebrans.
the Cerebrans are great.
The Cerebrans are all good. I love the spear guy. That guy's so fucking funny to watch. I love him. I love him just walking up to people. "Can you teach me to cry?"
Yeah.
And just like that guy's going so hard. Like, I love him. His actor is doing such a great job.
Yeah, like everyone seems to be having a blast on that show. Like, it's like you haven't gone to the essence of it, but what is it? Toshiki Inoue is known for writing very convoluted stories where people don't really communicate as well as they should, and is also known for having so many interweaving plot lines.
Sure.
That one of my buddies like was making a joke saying, it's like you haven't got to the essence of this because you're only on episode 17 and we're like what on like 38 now or something.
I think it's like
But
35 or 36. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, can Inoue please wrap up a storyline so I can know a moment's peace?
Yes, I saw.
You are not gonna get you are just get ready to not have answers. Still, it's like every mystery is still so compelling, but at the same time, it's still nothing gets answered, and it's almost infuriating. It's kind of funny.
I think that kind of stuff can be done well. As I've been saying, I've been very much enjoying watching my Don brothers. My catch up time with this. It's a good series. Yeah. It's just a good series. It's also just wild.
Yeah, I think Don Bros like okay, so I haven't watched many Sentai because I haven't like finished a lot. I think I've only like really finished Kyoryuger, Tokyuger, Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, Kira Major, and Zenkaiger, because I like personally like over the past few years I skipped, or at least I could not finish Zhu Ranger. I didn't start Q Ranger yet. I think I've only watched like one episode of it, but the main red kind of bugged me because of he's kind of annoying, but as everyone reminds me, he does get better, and I've seen compilations, and yes, he does get better.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah.
Sentai has a lot of shows. I'm sure there's going to be some that appeal to you more or less.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh wait, no, did I say Zhu Ranger? I mean, Ju-Oger. That's what it was. Ju-Oger.
Okay.
Yeah, Ju-Oger. Ju-Oger. I tried Ryu Soldier, which is currently which is the one that's being adapted as Dino Charge. Not Dino Charge. Dino Fury. But I couldn't deal with it because I am not a fan of the Sixth Ranger. I am not a fan of Kanalo. He is kind of boring, and I'm not a fan of him. But at the same time, like my favorite shows are ones that have really, really good extra rangers. Like Tokyuger has Akira, who's a worker on the Rainbow Line, and his pre-battle phrase, and he says it with the straightest face possible in a show where it's all about imagination, is this the place where I die? And that's his battle cry, and it's the funniest thing. He is one of the best sixth I've ever seen. And then we got Kira Major, and Kira Major is Takamichi. Yeah, Takamichi is one of the best. Is one of the best six because his story is so intertwined with the overall story of it, and it's really good. I love Kira Major so much. And then Zenkaiger, we didn't really actually no we did have a six because, and he was great. we had Sukaiser, who was pirate themed, and he's so funny. Like, it's really funny because Zenkaiger also is utterly insane. It's super episodic, so it's not so much like it's not a lot like what we're getting right now, where it's a very, I want to say structured, but it's words where we actually do get long stories, overarching mysteries. Like, it actually does have like mini arcs that go through that it goes through Zenkai. But yeah, it's also absolutely insane, and and I love the show. And then I didn't think they would get any more insane, and then Dawn Bros came out, and I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah, they can only go up from some.
exactly. It's like November, December, January, February, March. We should have about 5 more months of content. And as these months are, like, winding down, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm gonna miss these dorks. I'm gonna miss these dorks so much, and that is a good indicator if I like a Sentai series, if I'm going to miss these dorks. And that's how I felt, especially with Kira Major, and especially with Tokyuger. Like, yeah,
Well, hey, that's good, and I mean, honestly, that's just how it's gonna be sometimes. These shows are, made to only last a certain amount of time anyway, so we gotta enjoy the
yeah,
time we have with them. Hopefully, we'll see them again in some of those.
yeah. I mean, they did announce Abaranger 20th and Hurricaneger 25th, I think. No, Abaranger after and Hurricaneger after, but I don't think they're 20 years both for. I can't remember. But yeah, like, I'm excited for that because they actually did show off like new forms for Abared, and especially for Hurricane Red, and it is. I really want to see that one because Hurricaneger is, I've heard, is really really fun. But yeah, that's another bit of news that was announced last week, and I'm excited. But also talking about news, yeah, apparently because there's like a long distance running competition, a high school long distance running competition, Superhero Time is not going to be airing next week, so we're not going to have a new Dawn Brothers, and we're not going to have a new Geats next week. So I'm really sad, but at least there is still Kamen Rider to watch, new Kamen Rider to watch, because we got Kamen Rider Black Sun.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. Oh man, that's gonna be a whole thing. I think I'm gonna take the week to watch all of it. It is gonna be a heavy episode or a heavy series from what you're telling me.
Yeah. I'm up to episode 7. I mean, like, I think my brain was just frying because it's pretty dense. It's really dark. There's a lot of heavy themes, and I really like. I'm not the type to really like binge shows. Like, I actually like watching weekly as much as Netflix would hate it.
Yeah,
But I watch weekly, and like Black Sun, all 10 episodes coming out, and I basically was watching it. I basically just, like, like, it was pretty intent. Like, on the first 3 episodes, and the fourth episode happened, the 5th episode happened, then my brain just started melting a bit during the 6th and 7th. So
are they like?
I really hope I don't have to rewatch it.
Yeah,
But it's
are
like,
they like super long?
they're dense.
Or how long are they?
They are roughly about 35 episodes, 35 minutes each.
Okay, so they're a bit
Yeah,
longer
so
than the general TV episode.
yeah, it's dark. There's a lot of there's a lot of gore. A lot of gore. If people are watching Kamen Rider Black Sun, just know that it takes a very very Japanese view. That's very, like, anti-government. It's there's a meme that was going around about Kamen Rider Black Sun. Like, I know, like, it's a director. I can't remember which director it was, but it's like someone saying, "I know writers who use subtext, and I think they're all cowards." That is
Yes.
literally
Oh,
the
man.
best way to explain Kamen Rider Black Sun right now.
Look,
It's
I like that kind of stuff. So we're
Yeah.
gonna see. That will be us next week taking a
Yeah.
forced break from Geet. Uh, and honestly, depending on the subject material, I might not do a catch up on Don Brothers either. Just might not.
I
It might
actually-
just not be the time.
So what I would say is that you should definitely watch Kamen Rider Black Sun and cap off your sessions, because if you're gonna watch it over a couple sessions and not binge it all, you will need Dawn Brothers.
I
You
just-
will
I
need
just-
Dawn Brothers to detoxify yourself from how heavy that show gets.
Gotcha. I meant like I might not do like we might not do like a segment talking about Don Brothers. The episode.
Oh, okay. Well, you might. Okay, so I still want to know where you catch up to. So
I'll,
like
I'll, I'll
we can
give
dedicate some of it to that.
I'll give you maybe we'll start it off. I'll start it off with so we got this far to Don Brothers, but also Kamen Rider Black Sun is heavy. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, it'll be like an episode of Last Week Tonight, where it's like just the fluff pieces at the beginning, and now our main story for tonight.
Now in main story for tonight, we're
Yeah.
all dying.
When you watch it, you'll understand. It's heavy, man. It's heavy.
I mean I have like the here's the thing. I have the synopsis, so I know that is a story that can get heavy, and hearing from people's reaction, it does. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's just how
Yeah,
it'll be.
yeah. Just remember to watch the show through and know that it's coming from a Japanese point of view. That's another thing too, because like people were like doing like smart trigger warnings for it, not just for the gore, but for a lot of the messages that they are showing. It's from coming from a Japanese point of view. So just realize that. So yeah, like I could talk a lot about it. Like next week is basically gonna be
Next week we're gonna talk about the whole thing.
demonetize.
Okay. Don't talk about that like my channel is monetized. Okay. I do not. This is a show being paid for by our blood and sweat, and the fact that we want to put it out every week. It has nothing to do with money because we don't make any off of it.
I know, fair enough. But yeah, you'll understand. Like you'll understand within the first 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
I'm not kidding.
And with that, our 30 minutes are winding down. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey of Tokusatsu. If you don't like darker themes and heavy topics, maybe skip next week, and we will be back with Geets and more Don Brothers talk the week afterwards. As always, I have been Sleepy Witch with my partner in crime,
DJ Zer, the 2.5D here at TalkTuber.
Thank you so much, and good night. Or good day,
Night.
technically. I set these to go out during the day. I don't know why I said night. Good day.